Thank you, everyone, who was willing to take time out of your night and join me live. If you got your kids in bed like I did, 7:20, you feel like a rock star right now. And so, like celebrating by joining me, and you could be doing 1,000 other things in your life. And so I'm really grateful that you're willing to share the next 45, maybe an hour, depending on how long we go here with me, so I can teach you a little bit about what I'm extremely passionate about. So I am a premier wellness advocate with doTERRA. And more importantly, I am married. I've been married for 8 years. My husband's name is Josiah. He's a manager at Shields. And I have two little buddies in my life. Cali will be 4 on Saturday, and Cohen just turned 1 on October 1. So those little tykes keep me very, very busy. But I like to experiment on them with essential oils, and I just did tonight, actually. So I'm excited to share with you some of those results. I have been in the natural health world for almost 8 years. I was the opposite of health before then, so I feel like I have a really good balance of understanding what it's like to live one way and then another. Before I got into the natural health world, sometimes my meals would consist of zebra cakes and Diet Cokes and a couple of aspirin. So hopefully you know that's not healthy. I hope I didn't break anybody's heart tonight, but that was not a healthy chapter in my life. Lots and lots of fast food, sometimes more than once a day, and I thought I was getting away with it because I didn't gain any weight and I didn't have any glaring symptoms. I had headaches every day, but I thought that was stress. I had very low immune function, but I just thought everybody does, right? And so as I've gotten into the natural health world, I realized that health is actually my number one value. And sometimes people will argue that it's your faith or that it's your kids. And I have to argue back because it's really hard to take care of my kids when I'm not well. In fact, I'm a terrible mom when I'm sick because I'm crabby and I want to be in bed and I don't want to serve the world, let alone 2 kids pulling on my legs. And as far as my faith, man, I feel like we have been put on this earth for such an incredible mission, and I can't do that if I'm not healthy. So I hope that if health is not your number one priority in your life, that you would, at least by the end of this, maybe reconsider some ways that you could at least start slowly implementing some ideas of health into your life, because I'm telling you, it is so sweet to be on the other side now, realizing that what I had before was actually really draining and toxic and emotionally depressing. And now I love my life. I love being well all the time. When I do go under the weather for a little bit, it's like 12 to 24 hours max, and I'm right back up. And I have to give a lot of things credit to that. I believe that the healing power in my body that God put there originally, that runs from my brain down my spinal cord out to every organ in my body, is number one, the reason why that happens. But also because I'm involved in a lot of holistic things. I love healthy eating. I love to take good supplements and drink lots of water. And I get chiropractic adjustments regularly. My whole family does. And essential oils have literally transformed the health in my home. So why would I want to teach a class like this? Because I think, and I know there's some dads on the line too, but as a mama, I guess that's all I can really speak as. I haven't been a dad yet anyway. I feel like us as mamas, so there's always this saying, mama knows best, right? So why I feel like we're losing that a little bit in our culture, that mama doesn't always know best. Sometimes a professional might actually know best. And while there are times definitely for a needed professional, a physician, pharmaceuticals, I think like 90 to 95% of the time, the things that our kids are dealing with can be taken care of at home. And I want to just start empowering mamas to just know that mama does know best. I was challenged by a practitioner one time. She said, why do you take your kids in to someone who sees them every 6 months or once a year and ask them if they're healthy? You know instantly when your kids aren't well, right? Their cheeks get rosy, they start getting clingy, maybe they're more tired, they sleep in longer than they normally do. I mean, instantly, I'm like, something's off with you. And so I want to teach you to just trust that instinct, to look for the whispers in your children's bodies and in your own bodies, and then have tools in your home to act on them right away. That's what we've been able to do in our home. And we've literally avoided clinic visits for 8 years in our home because of what we have available to us. So now, please don't hear me wrong. There is a time and a place, and there's no judgment for how you're doing healthcare in your home. I want you to feel empowered as a mama to make decisions, as a daddy to make decisions for your kids when you have that ability to do that. So tonight, I'm going to go through 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to apologize. I have to apologize if I talk like I'm talking to children, because that's what I do all day. 5 things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that we're going to talk about tonight. And then I want to share with you some of my favorite recipes and practical uses for essential oils in my home. So it's going to be very practical. You're going to leave tonight with something that you can go and do. So number 1, if you're taking notes, there'll be quite a bit tonight that could be very overwhelming. I feel like I have to touch at least a little bit of it because I have so many different people on the class tonight. We've got people that have been using oils for years and people that don't even have an essential oil in their home. So raise of hands, I don't have an essential oil in my home. For anyone that's got the video up. Yes, no, maybe so. Everyone's got oils in their home? Yes, good. Okay, so that's awesome. I'm excited. So this will be great for you then. So my motto that I like to live by in the world of essential oils is I'm cautious, not fearful. I'm cautious, not fearful. And so I think that is something that if that resonates with you, let me teach you how I use that in my understanding of essential oils. Number 1, I know what essential oils are. Do you know what essential oils are? Do you know where they come from? So essential oils are literally the liquid extract from a plant or a fruit that God made. So this bottle of lemon essential oil is literally the volatile compounds, the liquid extracts from the rind of a lemon. So if I gave you the rind of a lemon and told you to rub that all over your kid's throat to help break up mucus, would you be like, that sounds dangerous? No, you wouldn't, because you know what the rind of a lemon is and you feel comfortable with that. And so I think sometimes we get fearful of essential oils because we forget what they are and where they come from. So literally a lemon essential oil is the volatile, which means active. If I took off the lid of this essential oil and you were in the same room as me, which you're not, bummer, right? Because you would be smelling this. It would be coming out of the bottle, literally leaping out of the bottle. They're active compounds and hundreds of compounds. An essential oil like frankincense literally has hundreds of compounds in the scientific mixture. And that came out of the mind of God. Have you ever thought about that? You see something incredible in nature, like this flower that you would have never created yourself because it's weird, it's different, or an animal, you're like, why does it look like that? That came out of the mind of God. And I like to think of that. Why are sometimes things like essential oils so complex? Why are there things to learn? Because it's literally coming from the mind of God. God created these plants, these fruits of the earth, and he created the essential oils in them to support those plants. So a lavender plant is going to use its essential oils to ward off pests, to repair broken limbs and damages to the plant. And it's basically the immune system of a plant. So now when we can harvest those in a safe way and process them without anything unnatural in the bottle, then we can find those benefits beneficial to ourselves. So here's also how I am cautious, not fearful. I make sure that who I'm listening to is reputable. And you're thinking, sweet, because I just met you like 15 seconds ago and I don't know you from Adam, right? So what I want to empower you to do is don't take everything that I'm saying as literally God's written truth. Now, have I spent a lot of time researching and a lot of the last couple of years literally experimenting or using these oils on my kids, and I have lots of experience? For sure. But that doesn't mean that you have to take my word for it. So when I ask mamas about essential oils, I get basically two responses. One, I love them and I use them and they've been really awesome in my home, or I'm actually really fearful of using oils. I don't know much about them. And when I ask more on this side, what makes them fearful or what do they not understand, almost always they're referencing things they've read online. I want to tell you that there are a lot of fear mongers online. And I want you to be able to decipher whether this is fear mongering or this is someone just expressing their desire to be cautious with the oils. And I think you guys are smart people. Like, you're smart mamas. You know in your gut, right? Is this person fear mongering or is this person expressing caution with the essential oils? There is a blog. I'm not even going to say the name. I did the last time. But anyway, it's brought up regularly to me when they talk about cautions with essential oils. And so I finally just went on and looked at it, and she's very aggressive towards essential oils. So I'm like, I need to know who this lady is. Where does she come from? What's her background? Because I want to know, like, if she's got some training, maybe there's something I don't know. I get to the bottom and it says the author has not yet filled in any biographical details, but check out my 111 blog entries below. And I'm like, we don't even know who this lady is. And I've literally had her reference to me at least 6 or 7 times talking with friends and acquaintances about essential oils. So let's make sure that the people that we're receiving our education from have qualifications to be giving that, and they're not fear mongers about something that they really don't understand. So I learned how to be cautious by getting connected with people like myself, people in my doTERRA team that are very educated with essential oils. And they're not just mamas. They are researchers and chiropractors and doulas and midwives and scientists, chemists, people that are involved in the science of essential oils, studying how one essential oil interacts with another. I love learning from those people, and I've had access to them from my doTERRA team, and I'm grateful for that because I think that's what's made me so confident. I'm watching these physicians, these practitioners use essential oils in their practices on their children, literally putting a drop under their tongue in front of me. And it makes me confident because I realize that they've been educated. They have resources where they're learning. They've given those to me. And between all of that, I feel I love feeling confident about these tools in my home. So there's more to know about oils than just what they are and where to put them. I could teach a week's worth of classes on just the science, the chemical composition of essential oils. I alluded to it earlier, frankincense having literally hundreds of compounds. So when someone says, if you're familiar with essential oils, you've maybe heard, when in doubt, get the frank out, frankincense. So why would they say that? Because literally frankincense can give your immune system a boost. It can help your skin clear up. It can support respiratory distress. It can help repair DNA damage. It can support restful sleep. It can calm emotions. It can support mood and mental health. It supports thyroid function. And you're like, what? This oil does all of that? That seems wonky, right? How does it actually happen? Well, there's literally hundreds of compounds, right? This came out of the mind of God in this essential oil, and it covers so many needs. Then you get to an essential oil like rosemary, great oil, but this essential oil is mostly known for mood and mental health, for support for memory and focus. You could put it on for other ailments and it wouldn't necessarily have the same effect because the compound list is shorter and it doesn't have a wide range of uses. And so it has very specific uses, but not like a frankincense or a lavender that can literally be used for so many things. So know that sometimes fear comes from not understanding that level of it. And not that you have to understand it, but just know that sometimes when people are sharing things with you, they have no idea there's that element to it. So consider this. There's an essential oil called Arbor Vitae or Arbor Vitae. You can say it either way. It's a huge giant tree. It's actually, the name means tree of life. And doTERRA sources that up in Canada. And the scientific name that doTERRA has for their oil is called Thuja plicata. And that means that oil is steam distilled from the wood of that tree. Now, if you steam distill the needles of that tree, the scientific name is completely different. It's called thujone. And that is a known neurotoxin when it's distilled from the needles. So you hear, you're using arborvitae on your children? That's toxic. And I'm saying, what's the scientific name of the oil that you're referencing? And then they go, oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. And so it's really important that you know that there's a difference in that. So that's just a tiny little thought for you to consider. This is why price makes such a huge difference in essential oils, because if you distill it from the needles, it's really cheap. And if you distill it from the wood, it takes a lot more effort, and it costs more to keep it a sustainable practice because you're dealing with the forest, obviously. And so there's a price difference. So of course, right, everything in life, when we spend more, it's typically because it costs more to process and it's a better quality thing. So we're going to talk more about that later on, but I wanted you to consider that. So where do I get a lot of my training and resources? What am I going to be talking about today, and what are the sources that I'm referencing? You can write this down and do some of your own research if you'd like. Robert Tisserand, Tisserand, incredible educator. He's literally been learning about and teaching and educating about essential oils for 45 years. He's written 3 books and 22 published articles all about aromatherapy. He's basically become the leader of safety for all of our home and industry standards, the safety guy. So what I'm going to go through today with the essential oils that I think every person needs in their home are literally the safest, most cautious, conservative recommendations. Now, there's a scale. Here's Robert Tisserand and what he presents in Essential Oil Safety. It's a $90 book. You can get it off of Amazon. It's literally like a textbook. Essential Oil Safety Guide. So let's say he's here, and then this is some people that you probably also see on the internet that's like 70 drops in a roller ball, roll it on your feet every day. Anyway, lots and lots of drops of essential oil with no caution. So here's middle of the road. Here's Tisserand. Here's crazy lady on the internet, okay? I would say that I am just under halfway. So I don't find myself right here, but that's my mama gut, right? So you have to okay, so this is mama gut, daddy gut, sorry. I know there's daddies on here. So is your daddy gut here? Is your daddy gut here? Is your daddy gut here? Where is your gut feel good? And those are the recommendations you should follow. Don't follow what I'm doing with my kids. My kids have different skin. They have a whole different set of everything, right? They're completely different people. I didn't know how else to describe that. They're just different, okay? So make a decision on the scale where you want to be. So what I'm going to talk about tonight is this end of it. So the last time I did this class, I had a few people message me and they're like, wait, so I can't use this oil on my children? And I'm like, no, this is the strictest recommendations. I want to teach from there, and then you decide where on the scale you land. So remembering that I'm a little bit higher here. So Robert Tisserand, Rodney Young, they wrote Essential Oil Safety Guide. That's what I'm teaching out of tonight. And then another really great resource is the doTERRA science blog. It is incredible because it's literally pure research and studies, and they list them all, and you can go and search them all out. So the doTERRA science blog, I've learned so much about dilution, how essential oils interact with each other, the science of essential oils. So if that's your thing and you want to do some research before you get going, that's where you need to be. So Dr. David K. Hill is a doctor that I have learned from. I've actually been certified in his technique of applying essential oils to the spine safely. He's on the medical advisory panel for doTERRA. They have an advisory board that deals with all of their products and oils and making sure that they are 100% pure and safe. There's also a doctor of chiropractic on that board, a certified surgeon, an integrative medicine physician, an ENT surgeon, an anesthesiologist, OBGYN, just tons of people. And every year they come to our yearly training. They're third-party people, and they tell us how they're using essential oils in their practices and what is safe and what should be considered. So doTERRA science blog, full of studies, full of research. Modern Essentials is another science-y book. Whoops, with a little more practicality to it. So this is a really good book if you want to learn a little bit more about the science. You can find this on Amazon or Aroma Tools. It's literally going to go into the science of how essential oils, how the compounds work, how they interact with the body. If you want to learn a little bit more about safety there, then that would be a good place for you. The Essential Life book, though, is probably my favorite resource. And that is hands-on, super practical. If you have oils in your house, you have to have this book. It is so, so good. Essential Life, it'll literally walk you through every single essential oil, how you can use it, what it blends well with in a diffuser, all the top properties. And then the bottom has science research articles listed too, so you can research that. A couple more suggestions would be this Body Systems and Essential Oil handout. It takes you through different ailments, so you can identify an ailment in your family, learn what body system it's involving, and then go into those body systems and determine what essential oils can help support that. So if you're a holistic girl like me and you don't necessarily want to just treat symptoms, this is a really good place because you can find essential oils that regularly support body systems, and you can do it on more of a preventative maintenance basis. And it's really, really fun. We apply oils to the feet and spine of my family all the time, and it's been a really cool connection that we've had that we use regularly. My daughter will just take her shirt off in the middle of the house and just say, "Oils, mommy." And so I get to touch her, and we just have a reason to be together. So it's good. The last one is called Aromatherapy for the Healthy Child. This is Valerie Werwood. She's put together a ton of recipes and just really good advice on how to use essential oils for children. 300 natural, non-toxic, fragrant blends that she has there. And then the last book, if you're a pregnant mama on here, there is a book called Essential Oils for Pregnancy, Birth, and Babies. And it is written by a midwife, Stephanie Fritz, a licensed midwife, and she is amazing. And I followed her stuff literally by the book. So I don't have time to talk about pregnancy tonight. So if that's something that's really your cup of tea, then make sure you contact me and we'll chat more. But all right, so number 2, I want you to consider the benefits versus the risks when we're talking safety with essential oils, and know that most of the cautions, like even on this side of the spectrum, are no longer valid if you're using the essential oil acutely, like no more than 10 days at a time before taking a break for a while and then using them again for 10 days. So the other thing that the cautions all come off, or some of the most common cautions would be essential oils that are on or near the face of children under 2. So you can identify yourself. If you're, you don't have to raise your hand. I'm just saying, think about it for yourself. Do I have children who are 2 and under? Then there are 3 oils that you should consider never to put on or near the face. But honestly, I've never felt a need to put oils on or near the face of my infant because they're just as effective other places. So these 3 oils, peppermint, rosemary, eucalyptus, you probably hear a lot about those as far as from other people about being cautious with them. The only known caution, even on this side of the spectrum, is just not on or near the face of children 2 and under. So here are some oils. If you're going to be cautious, these would be the ones you'd want to be cautious with in these 3 categories: children, lactating mamas, and pregnant mamas. Those are the 3 categories. Lemongrass, Melissa essential oil, not me. You have to be cautious of me. Lemon myrtle, cinnamon bark, fennel, myrrh, oregano, and wintergreen. So I'll tell you why. These oils are not dangerous. They're powerful and they're potent. So consider this: wintergreen essential oil is almost 90% composed of methyl salicylate. So that's what aspirin is made out of. That is why it has the same cautions as aspirin. So not toxic or dangerous, just powerful. We don't need to use wintergreen on our 2-year-old. So there are other oils that help calm and soothe that are not wintergreen. So just consider that when the benefits versus the risks, and know that all drugs are toxic. They just are. Pharmacology, toxicology, those are classes that pharmacists and doctors take in college because they're studying how toxins interact with our body systems. And so every pharmaceutical it's toxic to our body. Our bodies, it definitely has an effect, right? But our bodies have to filter the toxins. So I say, if you're in a situation where that's even being considered, essential oils are an incredible option for you to at least consider. So number 3, dilute, 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 dilute. Did you get it? dilute, dilute, dilute. I always think essential oils should be diluted. I have learned through some of my training and through reading in a lot of these guides that the effectiveness of essential oils are not changed based on their dilution. So you can still have the same effectiveness of an essential oil and it's still diluted. So essential oils don't have a protein. You can't be allergic to an essential oil, but you can have a sensitivity to it. It can be strong. So some of those oils, they're listed there for cautions just because of a potential sensitivity. Well, oregano, I mean, we all know if we bathed in oregano, that would be a problem. Wintergreen spicy, cinnamon bark spicy. So it's important to dilute, and then it really wipes away any kind of caution. So I purchased doTERRA's unscented lotion, and I like to use that and travel with it. It's a very easy to travel with for dilution of essential oils. But if you're at home and you just need something that's cheap and easy, order a case of shea butter and then the big tub of coconut oil and melt a big batch of it down and make a bunch of these and set them all throughout your house. So that wherever you are, you can literally pull some out, rub on your babies, rub on yourself, your children, and you've got a dilution already ready to go. The shea butter keeps that coconut oil a little bit softer, so you're not like grinding it out in January, right, when it's colder than it should be. So that is my little tip there. Shea butter, coconut oil, melt it all down, and then when it firms back up, it'll be like an easy putty to use, and you can just have that all over your house. So you don't put the essential oils in it right away because they'll lose their potency after a while sitting in there. So you can make a big batch, separate it out, and then you always have it. So that is dilution. So 1 drop of essential oil. 1 drop, you guys, so little. So this is how you can drop, whoop, see, I actually got 2. Essential oils, 1 drop per teaspoon of carrier oil for babies. Now that's over here, remember, but 1 drop per teaspoon for babies. So that's 1 drop in a 5 milliliter bottle. Like if you're going to make your own roller bottle, this is my little teeth blend. So 1 drop for babies in a 5 mil, 2 drops in a 10 mil. 1 drop, 2 drops. That is a 1% dilution and really good for babies. This is like newborns. 2 drops per teaspoon for children under 6. And really under 10 if you think your children have sensitive skin. And you guys all know if your kids have sensitive skin. So 2 drops per teaspoon. So that's 2 drops in a 5 mil and 4 drops in a 10 mil. That's a 2% dilution. Part of me always thinks, 2 drops, how is that seriously going to work? Because our culture, our mindset is like, if 1 works, like 10 works better, right? And that's just not how essential oils are. They are so pure and potent that 1 drop literally would be enough for the entire body of your child. Even for adults, 2 to 3 drops is really enough, especially with a carrier oil that can carry the essential oil further. You can do a lot with very limited drops. So talk about cost effective. 1 drop of lemon essential oil costs 4 cents. Sometimes people think essential oils are expensive. I'm like, you're using too much. 1 drop, 4 cents. I'll give you 4 pennies. Okay. Anyway, if you have my collection, it's expensive. So that would be how you spend a lot of money on essential oils. Don't do that if you don't have your husband's support, okay? All right, so I use more than that on my babies typically when I feel it's necessary, but just remember that more is not always better. Consistency over a period of time when you're dealing with something specific will actually lead to better results than just using more up front, because the body is so familiar with the compounds of essential oils because our bodies are built so similarly to plants that it knows exactly what to do with the oil when it is present in the body, and whatever it doesn't need, it's going to get rid of. So you're kind of wasting your money necessarily, and you're risking a sensitivity by using too much at one time. So get them in a roller ball, get a dilution going so that you can just use regularly. I've seen the best results when I do every diaper change. What do you do with your kids consistently? If they're not potty trained, it's diaper changes, and that is a really great time to apply oil. So where can you apply them? On the feet. I love the feet because if you get too much carrier oil, you just throw socks over the top. The spine, So easy and so good. And remember, the spine is actually what facilitates all the work in the body. And so it knows how to take those essential oil compounds and get them to where they need to go very quickly. So if we're dealing with an issue, an immune system attack, shirts off, socks off, on the floor, circular, clockwise, layered, one oil on top of the other. These 4 oils that I'm going to talk about today are what we use regularly: lemon, melaleuca, lavender, frankincense. Upper back, sometimes oils are needed for respiratory support, right? And so here is not a great place for children because their hands are here and it's too close to the face, even if you're using oils that don't necessarily have that caution. So I say the upper back. It still affects all of those organs and areas. The back of the neck, your kids are not doing that. They're not reaching all the way back here, especially your little ones. So that's a really good place. And then if I'm dealing with something lower in the respiratory system, maybe in the lungs or the bronchioles, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so then you would want on the lungs, just like where you feel their rib cage, right underneath there is their lungs. I like to just rub all over their lungs, all over the back, and maybe on their feet as well, and then throw a shirt on them. Put them in zippered jammies. That's what I did with my son tonight, and that is really effective for me. So here is number 4, and this is the most important thing. We've talked a lot about cautions and safety, but you guys, essential oils are so stinking safe. They're so safe. Let's focus on what is safe. We can make a list of all the things we need to avoid, but I'm telling you, I went through the strictest guidelines, all of the research, and there are still 30 essential oils, 30 single oils that are absolutely no cautions, 100% safe for pregnancy, lactation, and children of all ages. 30. There's 30 essential oils you could use very safely on literally anybody in your home. So I'm only going to go through 4, but there's 30 singles and 30 blends that doTERRA makes. If you'd like that list, I can get it to you. But lemon, lavender, melaleuca, and frankincense are what we have to talk about tonight because every family needs these in their home, specifically the fall and winter. We use them nearly every day. Lemon is the first one. We've talked briefly about this. Lemon literally comes from the rind of a lemon. It's the volatile compounds from that rind when it is cold pressed. Lemon essential oil is one of the most inexpensive oils because it's so easy to grow and process, but it is the biggest bang for your buck when it comes to the immune system. The first signal that your immune system is working well and strong and is what? What do you guys experience? Drainage, right? Mucus. You probably see it in your kids pretty quickly. For my kids, that's literally one of their first signs. So lemon essential oil is mucolytic. It helps break up mucus. And why is mucus the first signs? Because that's actually how toxins travel through our body and get out. So lemon is so powerful and lemon is so safe. I apply it right to my kids' throats. Dilute, right? Remember number 3, dilute, dilute, dilute. Dilute, 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 dilute lemon. I have to keep going. I feel like some of you guys are going to fall asleep on me. I got to do like a little dance or something. I feel like my kids are sleeping and I should be too, right? Lemon essential oil, super good for the immune system, really good for breaking up mucus and removing toxins. If I had a styrofoam cup, I could put a drop of lemon on it and it would literally eat through the styrofoam cup within a couple of minutes because it knows how to locate petrochemicals and destroy them. Really good for supporting our immune systems. But it's all things cleansing. It's not just cleansing to the body, it's cleansing to our homes. So I clean with lemon essential oil. I put 2 to 3 drops of lemon essential oil in a big old sink full of water when I bring home all my veggies and my fruit from the store, and I just swish and soak. And I pull those strawberries out and I'm like, not only do they taste awesome, but they're clean and I don't have to use chemicals on them or veggie sprays or all this kind of stuff. Literally 2 drops of lemon. Sometimes I'll be washing dishes and I realize something greasy got in there. I'll drop 2 drops of lemon because you're starting to pull your stuff out, right? And you're like, this is not getting clean. Hold on one second here. Hopefully I haven't been cutting out. I just got an alert on my too many oils on my table. go. That should help. My battery's also gonna die. Thanks for staying with me, guys. Can you hear how many essential oils I have on my table? Oh my gosh. Mess. Back up. So I put a couple of drops in a really greasy tub of water and it breaks up grease. It's a degreaser. This is a natural Goo Gone. Talk about kids. Am I the only mama that is like literally cleaning stickers and Band-Aids off of everything in my house? Woo! Natural Goo Gone. I'm telling you, no toxic chemicals. You put that Goo Gone on something and you're like, dude, let's get out of the house for like 6 months. That is so toxic. I challenge you, go to the dollar store, buy one of those dollar frames that have all those pathetic stickers all over the front, and you're like trying to etch them off with your fingernail or razor blade or whatever. 1 drop lemon essential oil on that sticker, and you're going to do this with your finger, and it's going to be gone. And you're going to go, bam. That's what you're going to do. All right. That's lemon. Everybody needs it. It's in quite a few of the recipes I'm going to go through in the end. Melaleuca is literally a kick in the pants to bacteria. That is the most compliant way that I can explain it. Melaleuca cleans also. I like to put a few drops of Melaleuca in my tub when I feel like there's a lot of snot going around in my house, or I have friends over that got snotty kids. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, actually, I'm not really kidding. I put all the toys in the tub, a few drops of Melaleuca, maybe 2 or 3, even for an entire tub, and switch those toys around and clean them up. You could make an all-purpose spray with Melaleuca. Very good for taking care of bacteria. Do you know where bacteria also grows? On our skin. Thank you, body, right? And so lots of times our skin abruptions take place because of an imbalance in bacteria. Melaleuca is very helpful for skin abruptions. So you can literally put that in your face wash. You can make your own face wash with Melaleuca. Melaleuca is a big time oil for skin issues, immune function, and just cleaning. So literally covers the whole gamut. So let me back up. You're like, wait, you put lemon essential oil on a styrofoam cup and it literally eats a hole. Didn't you say you could put lemon essential oil in water and then you drink it? That sounds crazy, right? Remember, our bodies are organic matter. Our bodies came out of the mind of God. So did essential oils. They know how to work together. They don't do damage. They can only do good. So talk about not killing the good bacteria. I could teach a whole class on good bacteria and digestive health. Melaleuca has the intelligence made by God to do that exact thing. Lavender, all things calming. What needs some calming in your life? If you are in my life, you need calming for tantrums at Target. You need calming for burns and bites. You need calming for sleep and rest and hormones. Lavender's where it's at. All things calming. Notice mine is pretty low. This is probably the #1 used oil in my house, and I've started carrying it with me because I've noticed that 3 going on 4-year-olds have a lot of emotional concerns. I just left a friend's house the other morning and I happened to have my oils with me, thank goodness, and I don't even remember what the problem was. I think I put her shoe on wrong. I don't know what it was, but literally meltdown in the back of the car, and you're driving. Like, what are you going to do? So I pull over for a second. I pull out my lavender. I put 1 drop in her hands and I said, sweetie, take a deep breath in through your nose and then see if it can come out of your mouth. And we just make it a game. And it is amazing how fast she calms down. But I use lavender almost nightly for her in her diffuser. I sometimes put it on the bottom of her feet. So when she's resting and she's calm and she's having good moments, her body understands lavender. So then when I take lavender and I take it out into places where she's not calm and not resting, her brain recognizes lavender, says, oh, I use that smell when it's calm, and can literally calm the brain. Aromatherapy is a crazy concept, and if you haven't studied it at all, that literally came out of the mind of God, right? That we could smell through our olfactory bulb, interact with our amygdala, and that smells could literally enhance our moods, change our hormones, our sleep patterns, our sex drives, so many different things. Lavender is really important for good, restful sleep, calming skin, calming bites and burns. Have you ever stuck your finger in the oven real quick to just grab something and you thought you had a hold of the pot holder and you didn't, and then you're like stinging like nothing, underwater ice packs? Like, one drop of lavender essential oil, I promise you, it's almost worth burning your finger over just to experience it. Lavender on your hand instantly stops the sting. My mom just shared an essential oil with a friend just because she was at her house eating supper, and she literally burned herself almost in tears. It hurt so bad. She did 1 drop of lavender. A couple minutes later, she's like, my hand is not stinging anymore. She's like, lavender essential oil. The last oil I want to talk about is frankincense. We talked briefly about this. Frankincense, when in doubt, get the frank out. That is because frankincense covers such a wide variety of uses. And so if really, seriously, if you're in doubt, get your frankincense out and just put it on the areas where you're experiencing issues. Frankincense is really calming to the skin. It's a skin oil. It's in all of doTERRA's anti-aging stuff because it is supportive to cellular structure and oxidative stress and so many different things. It is enhancing to moods. It can literally decrease irritability and increase focus. Of course, right? And where's the first time you've heard frankincense? Hopefully you read it in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John when baby Jesus received it as a gift. And now they're thinking it was probably actually brought for Mary based on what we're learning about the compounds and what it's known for. Incredible, superior boost to the immune system. In fact, when you combine it with myrrh essential oil, which is the other essential oil, if you didn't know, that was brought to baby Jesus, it has a synergistic effect. It can literally, the antimicrobial and antiviral properties are extremely enhanced. So that would be an incredible body butter, frankincense and myrrh, right? Just call me Jesus. I'm just kidding. Don't. Frankincense, really important for cellular restructuring, immune boost, DNA repair. And it is an enhancer oil. So if I pair frankincense with lavender, lavender is going to work better in the body because it has so many compounds that forces lavender into the cells more quickly. The cellular structure of this essential oil is the molecular structure, so small. It's lipophilic, it's fat soluble, it can enter the cells, and it can actually cross the blood-brain barrier. It's been studied to do that. So I can't go through all of the things that frankincense has been studied to do. It would not be compliant to share all that online, even though it's online. So go to pubmed.org, pubmed.org. I'm looking over here at some of the comments. So in that example of burning yourself, are you diluting that 1 drop or straight? Oh, such a good question. I almost always dilute unless I'm dealing with burns and bites because those just need it. It's a very acute use. If you're going to use it like a one-time thing or maybe even a 2 to 3 times in that specific area, for an adult, not diluting it is probably okay, especially all of these oils. If it's something where you're going to repeatedly put it on that area for a long period of time, then you have to dilute. So a burn, you're not going to do that. And yeah, it's straight. Really good question. Jesus, exclamation point. That's all good. As an adult, I'm comfortable applying directly. Yeah, totally. Right? Mama guts, you just decide where are you on the spectrum. What you decide is good. So that is all my 4 favorite oils. I have literally 60 of them. I chose only 4 tonight. It was very difficult. What I want you to know before we finish up is my last point here, and then I'm going to go into some recipes and everyday uses. Not all oils are created equal. Shocker, right? That is how it works. So I just got to my mailbox yesterday. Did y'all open your mail yesterday? Bed Bath & Beyond. They know what's going on, people. Essential oils and diffusers. These essential oils, I have nothing bad to say about Bed Bath & Beyond. In fact, I love that store. And what is so sweet about that store is you can take their coupons in even when they're expired, by the way, and they take them. Love that store. But I don't want to take the healthcare of my home and walk into Bed Bath & Beyond and rely on the employee who's at the desk to tell me how to use that oil with my kids. And when I get at home and they're dealing with a situation, I can't call up Bed Bath & Beyond at 9 o'clock at night and say, hey, I can't remember, how am I supposed to use that lavender oil on my kids? They're just not going to. So it's important that you know how to get connected with some resources, and that makes essential oils different. $9.99 for an essential oil is not going to have the same quality as what I'm going to go through. So what makes doTERRA different? I think there's a doTERRA difference. Now, obviously, I'm swayed, right? But when I start researching essential oils, I'm so cautious about what goes on my skin and in my mouth, you guys. I have not had a lick of soda in 8 years. That's like crazy talk, right? That is because I'm so conscious of what's going in my body. So when I started looking into the world of essential oils, I'm like, I have to know what's in here. And I have to know it's 100% essential oil. Because did you know these oils that are on that brochure that say pure therapeutic oils, that they only have to contain 3 to 5% essential oil in that bottle for them to label them that way? As a mama, that brings out my mama bear in me. What? So what's the other 97%? So you can label that pure and still put 97% of something else in there besides essential oils. That's what the FDA says. That's just what the regulations are. There is hardly any regulations on the market for essential oils by that entity because it's impossible to regulate things that come from plants. So they said, well, we're going to at least require you to have 3 to 5% of essential oil in there, and whatever you do with the rest is fine. So here is the doTERRA difference. doTERRA has only been a company for 8 years, and it is already the largest essential oil company in the world. So you're thinking of all these other brands? Yeah, no, doTERRA blows them out of the water. And why is that? Why does it matter? I'm not saying that because I'm like pride or anything like that. It's because they have decided we're going to create a product that people can trust. And every single time they open this bottle of frankincense essential oil, it's going to smell exactly the same. And then I'm going to order another one a year later, and I'm going to open it up, and it's going to smell exactly the same. And then I'm going to order lavender. It's going to smell exactly the same. And when you smell from company to company, it smells different. It's because it's sourced differently. All of doTERRA's oils come from their indigenous source, where God planted them originally. If these oils came out of the mind of God, then I bet he knew where to plant them, right? And they're going to be planted where they're going to have the most potent benefit. So if you buy Vidalia onions, you can only label them Vidalia if they come out of a specific place in Georgia where the soil content is really low, or the sulfur content in the soil is really low. They come out sweet. That's why you get the name Vidalia. You can't just slap Vidalia on white onions in the store. They have to come from a specific place because the soil, the climate, the temperature, the way they're harvested changes that onion completely. That's exactly how essential oils work. Depending on where they're sourced, how they're processed, it changes the entire composition of the oil. Remember, this is science when you really get down to it, and those compounds can change so easily. And so having a place that I know where they come from every time, I know there's no fillers, there's no pesticides, there's no sprays, there's nothing else in that bottle except pure essential oil, that's really comforting to me. So how do I know that, right? Well, they're third-party tested. They're not tested by doTERRA. They're not tested by the farmers. They're tested by a third party who is not connected financially to doTERRA, but they do tests on every single bottle. If this lavender has 87 compounds, I want to make sure that every single bottle has 87 compounds every single time I harvest it. And every single bottle with doTERRA is tested every single time. Some companies test once a year. I think that's crazy. I don't want it checked in on once a year. I want it checked in on every single bottle. That's important to know. So testing, if you really want to know that what you're using is safe for your kids, because I hear that a lot, then I encourage you to find the company that's testing the most. And when you do the research, I've already done it. When you line up all the companies and how many tests they're doing on their essential oils, there are 3 companies that are testing what needs to be tested every time, and it's 12 different tests. There's only 3 companies doing that. How many companies do you see now selling essential oils? 3 companies are doing the standard, like known to be needed test, 12 of them. There's the second most tested company is doing 1 more than the standard 12. You know what doTERRA is doing? 11 more than the most tested company in the world. I love that. I love it. I want to know that this is what they say it is. That's why they're always labeled certified pure therapeutic grade, CPTG. I know that if that label's on the bottle, that's what it's going to come with. So let's talk about pricing. Can you imagine that everything that I just went through is going to change the price of your essential oils? If you are at a store, BB&B, and you pay $9.99 for an oil, there's no way they can do all those testings on there. There's no way they can source it indigenously. There's no way that it can be 100% pure lavender essential oil for the same price as grapefruit essential oil. Like, there's just no way. They're processed differently. It's just $9.99 across the board doesn't make any sense to me. That just shows me that there's no correlation between price and quality. I know that there is with doTERRA because I understand all of the co-impact sourcing that goes into play with doTERRA oils. You can find it all on source2u.com. Don't take my word for it. Look it all up. Source2u.com. You can literally type in the lot number. They're working on a system where you'll type in the lot number and you can see all the tests that are done on that bottle specifically and where it was sourced from. And you know exactly what you're getting. I love that about doTERRA. So what does that mean? Co-impact sourcing. That means we know all of the sourcing information, but we're also co-impacting that location. So frankincense comes from Saudi Arabia area every time. Lavender comes from France. Melaleuca comes from Australia, also known as tea tree, by the way. Lemon comes from Italy. So I know that the farmers in Italy have had these lemon fields in their family for generations. So would it make sense to make sure that they can keep it in their family trade for generations to come? Well, then they need to be paid a fair wage. And then our sourcing strategies need to make sure that we don't deplete the source of lemon trees in that area. Same with the arborvitae trees. Deforestation is a real thing. doTERRA is working with those farmers to make sure that it's sustainable, fair practices, and that those farmers are getting paid a fair wage. $5.28 I saw on a cinnamon essential oil one time coming from Sri Lanka. $5.28 from Sri Lanka. I'm sorry, we're not paying the Sri Lankans enough money if that's what the markup in the store in the USA is for cinnamon essential oil. That's really important to me. Is it important to you to have fair trade money happening with your essential oils? It's something to consider. And then finally, what is a big company like doTERRA? Like, what are they doing with their profit? What they're doing is they're giving back, and it is awesome. And I don't have time to go into it all, but this is one example. They just created a Hope essential oil rollerball blend. And this is going to be given to 1 million women and children who are being trafficked, sex trafficking, human trafficking. If you're not familiar, you have to get aware. It's happening all over the world, literally millions of children and families and moms and whatever being trafficked in situations they don't want to be in. And so doTERRA has worked with a organization called Operation Underground Railroad. You can find a lot of their information on Facebook and online. And they said, we're going to give you not only a $500,000 check this year from our Healing Hands Foundation that all of us wellness advocates contribute to so that you can do more work in that industry, but we're going to create this rollerball called Hope, and we're going to make it smell delish. Bergamot, ylang ylang, frankincense. Y'all need to make your own. Talk about happy mama roller. So uplifting. I love it. And they're going to give these to women and children who are in those areas of the world, over 1 million of them. And when they peel back the label, it's going to tell them how to contact Operation Underground Railroad and get out. And get out. That gives me goosebumps thinking about it. How sweet is that? The people that buy them and sell them, like that's literally happening. Allow them to smell good. That's something that they don't care about. They want them to smell good, right? You can just imagine. So they're going to be able to have these, and then they're going to have access to real help. And that is so cool. Is your company doing that? Mine is, and I love it. All right. So how do you get essential oils? You get a wholesale membership. Don't buy them retail, you guys. Don't buy pure essential oils at retail. Friends don't buy retail. Friends don't let friends buy retail. It's too expensive. So get a wholesale membership just like I have. It just works like Costco. Do you get a wholesale membership for food? Then it's the same thing. You pay a $35 fee to enroll, and then you get everything that I'm talking about at 25% off. Boom, 25% off. I'll take it, right? And you can never order again. There's no strings attached. You don't have to literally ever order again. You don't have to make minimum monthly orders. You don't have to make yearly orders. There's no requirements for your membership. It's just that you pay the initial enrollment fee and you get all the doTERRA products and oils, literally over 100 of those at wholesale pricing for an entire year. If after a year you're still using your essential oils and you want to re-enroll, then they'll send you a bottle of peppermint essential oil for a $25 renewal fee, which is pretty much the cost of peppermint. It's kind of a wash. Very cool. If you're like me and you want it cheaper than that, then you purchase an enrollment kit. If you purchase an enrollment kit, they waive the $35 and they take that $35 and they turn it into product. And then you can purchase kits that get your family set up with the tools in your home to be empowered for a super good deal. So my favorite enrollment kit right now is a new one called Aroma Touch Diffuse. It comes with a diffuser and 8 of my favorite oils plus some carrier oil to dilute for $150. So you don't have to pay the $35 and you save another $35 on top of that. So it's a $70 savings from buying all that out individually on top of the wholesale discount. So if you're considering that, then I'll get you that information. So here, I have to go through all of that because I'm going to give you some recipes and everyday uses. And I want you to, if you want to write this all down, you can. You cannot take these recipes and go use them with other essential oils because number one, I don't know if they'll work. And number two, I don't know if they're safe. Did you know that the compounds in frankincense, which is a rare precious oil, are like 90% similar to cypress essential oil, which is a pretty inexpensive, good oil, but used for different purposes, but their compounds are very similar. So some companies will take all of the compounds from cypress and a few from frankincense, mix them together and call it frankincense, and then sell it for a cypress price. So you think you're getting frankincense because they've labeled it frankincense, and they call it frankincense, but it's actually mostly cypress with some compounds from frankincense. It's really important that you know what you're using, and so you can't take other essential oils and use them this way on your children in these blends. At least don't put my name on it then, okay, if you're gonna do it. So stop the snot. I had quite a few people that like that, right? This is a diffuser blend. 2 drops of lemon, 2 drops of melaleuca, 2 drops of lemongrass in your diffuser. So good for clearing the air. We talked a lot about how lemon and melaleuca interact with the immune system. Really, really good. Now, you could definitely make a roller ball out of that. Lemongrass is on a caution list, so if you've got children under 2, that wouldn't be the best thing. But diffusing, there's no caution, so stick it in your diffuser. It's an awesome smelling, really clean, uplifting, stop the snot. We use it a lot in our house. Better breathing, that is support to our respiratory system. I have 2 different ideas for you here. I make a roller ball called my Breathe Better blend, and it has frankincense and Breathe essential oil, which is a proprietary blend by doTERRA. I did not talk about it tonight, but Breathe essential oil with frankincense. Frankincense is going to enhance the properties of Breathe, and I dilute that in a roller ball. So it depends on what ages. You can follow those dilution guides. For myself, I do about 10 drops of each on a Breathe blend, and then you just notch it down depending on age with your kids. So if you've got littles, then I wouldn't use Breathe. I mean, you can. It just depends on where you're on the spectrum, right? But if you want to be down here, then what you want to use is cardamom, thyme, and marjoram. They smell so good, you guys. Cardamom, thyme, and marjoram. And you can put that in your diffuser. Really good for little ones. Or you could make a rub. You could make this rub that I'm talking about with the shea butter and coconut oil. Whoa, sorry about that. And put those drops in there. Now, depending on how much rub you have would depend on how many drops. If you need help figuring that out, holler back at me. So there's 2 different options there. Kick your immune system into gear. That is a roller ball blend. So where is mine? Oh, here. Immune Plus, powered by essential oils. So this is lemon, frankincense, and On Guard. On Guard is a an essential oil proprietary blend made by doTERRA that is a protective blend. So I would do 10 drops total in here. It's pretty diluted, much less if you're dealing with babies, of course. This is my recipe, so you remember where I'm at in the spectrum. I do 5 drops of lemon, 5 drops of On Guard, and 3 to 5 drops of frankincense, depending on if you want to pay for 5 drops. That is kick your immune system into gear. This could go on the feet of your family members every single day or night as just a preventative way to keep everything functioning really well. We have done that without fail last year, and it was awesome. Sleepy dreams. Who needs kids to go to sleep? Go to sleep and stay asleep, right? My favorite combo is Serenity. It's a calming blend, and vetiver. Vetiver is actually sourced out of Haiti. So if you're aware of the news, doTERRA is working with all of the places, all of our distilleries in Haiti to get vetiver back up and going and helping those people get out of all of that tragedy. So very cool. Do you know what though? doTERRA just reformulated their Serenity, and now it's called Restful Blend, and it has vetiver in it. So now I don't even have to dilute it or have to mix it anymore, just the plain Serenity. And that's what I used on my daughter tonight. So funny. 7 o'clock, I'm like, I have a class at 8:15. We have to get to bed. I take that mixture that I talked about, shea butter, coconut oil, 1 drop of Serenity. She wipes her hands and my hands, and then we both go to town, right, all over her body. It's basically a lotion for her. And like 7:15, she's like, Mom, I'm so tired. And I'm like, sorry. I like almost feel bad. It is such a powerful, amazing oil. It is so glorious. And she literally, I watched her fall asleep in bed. Normally you have to lay there and then kind of sneak out or whatever. And she just was like, heavy eyelids. So 7:20, she was sleeping. That's pretty rare for her. So it's kind of a mom's secret. Serenity, the new Serenity. Or Balance and Lavender if you've got little kids. Really good combo, Balance and Lavender. Or Cedarwood and Lavender. Very good calming blends. All for sleepy dreams. So that I just use probably just with a carrier oil. You could definitely make that into a roller ball if you'd like. Happy Hormones, Happy Mama, that was requested, right? So I got fancy with mine, and I put little rose petals in there, and I carry it around because it makes me feel glorious. Bergamot, or bergamot, however you want to say it. Lemon, lime, lavender, and citrus bliss. Now remember, this is a mama blend, so we can go a little bit more. 5 drops of each of those. Bergamot, lemon, lime, lavender, citrus bliss, and then 2 drops of Balance, 2 drops of Serenity. So these are for peeps that got oils already in their house. Or your wish list, right? That is my Happy Hormones, Happy Mama. A lot of those oils support mood elevation, hormone balancing. I like to rub it on my wrists and wear it literally like a perfume because that's where a lot of your hormones are balanced. Back of the neck, or just roll it into my hands and take deep old breaths. So my daughter's huffing lavender in the back, right? And I'm huffing happy mama in the front. And then the last one that I had shared on Facebook was called Energize Me. And this is for mamas and daddies too. 1 drop of frankincense, 1 drop of peppermint, and 2 drops of wild orange in your hands, cup over your mouth. Boost of energy, I promise you. And that'll stay on your hands for a little while. You could redo it, or you could just stick that in the diffuser. Frankincense, peppermint, wild orange. Really good combo. All right, I am finishing up here. If you are thinking that you want to get some essential oils in your house, I want to help you do that. I want to help you make natural hand sanitizers without dangerous chemicals. I want to help you make some owie sprays and some baby bottom sprays and some after sun sprays and cough buster rubs and no itch roller ball and irritated throat roller. And these are recipes I'm not going to share with you publicly, but I'm just there for mommies and daddies when kids are sleeping. Awkward. Okay, but so awesome. And I would love to share the recipes with you. So you have to get in contact with me. Lip balms. Like, I am in awe of all of the things I can do with my essential oils to save money and impact the health of my household. And I want to help you do that. So if you're going to get started with a wholesale membership, I've got a goodie box for you. If you're brand new to doTERRA and you're joining me, I want to get you a bottle of wild orange essential oil. It is delish. I have a lip balm. I've got some toothpaste, On Guard toothpaste. I have some roller balls. I have some veggie caps. I have some On Guard throat drops, some Breathe throat drops, a deep blue soothing rub, everything that you need to get started actually using oils in your home every day. That's for anybody that wants to join my team. If you're thinking, I want to get a kit, like the Family Essentials kit or the Home Essentials kit, and you want to do that before the end of October, then I have a mama kit for you. I want to give you this travel keychain from doTERRA where you can put all different oils that you want to carry with you at all times, and I'm going to send it with you. I don't know if you like purple or you like purple flowers or you like fancy business. I carry a few of these with me, right? So fun. And I would love to give you one if you are willing to enroll with a kit and get all of the tools that you need in your home that I use literally daily. If you want to host a class because you want to learn more, you're not quite ready to get oils in your home yet, I'd love to still give you these gifts for hosting. So consider that. I'm going to be emailing out some resources, like specifically the cautions list and the no cautions list, and I would be willing to give that to you if you leave me your email address. So you'll have to do that in the comments, or you'll have to text me, or you'll have to private message me on Facebook. But I just need your email address, and then I need your action step. What do you need to learn more? Do you need to get oils in your home? Or do you, like, what's next for you? Do you need to have like some samples? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you just like, I need to get these oils in my house to even see if they work and how they work. So samples, class, get oils in my house. So if you throw me, I see some of them coming up there. If you'll just type in your email address, I'm making a list. And then I am going to do that list in an email either tonight or tomorrow with some resources. And then if you reply back to me, I can get you your next step, whether it's samples, a class, or information on how to get wholesale priced oils in your home. And then I'm going to also be drawing and announcing on Facebook. If you were live tonight, then I believe Stacy got your name jotted down. And I am going to pull your favorite combo from your Facebook post. If you didn't already, jump on there really quick, the event page, type in of those blends what you think would be the funnest one to have, and I'm going to be raffling that off, and I'll post that for everybody. So I'm going to I'm going to stop recording.